Hi everyone, it's Sue here from Scrappy Doo Sue. I'm going to carry on with my following the recent video I did of making some tags for my floral journal out of trash. And I made this journal card for the journal out of an old cereal packet. Because all I've done is I covered the back with some scraps of paper suitable for journaling on, a scrap of lace for the tab. I stenciled all the back of it, the background, then put some scrap paper on, collaged with an old scrap of a bingo card that was actually on a digital scrapbook paper piece that I had, scrap, a label on some old cheesecloth, again another scrap, and some die cuts that I have that I get from Violet Doran, who has an eBay shop. So that's one I've made. So I thought I'd make a couple more on camera. I don't want to make the video too long, so I'm going to pop that one to one side now. And so this is my cereal packet. Again, I don't want to advertise too much, so I'm just going to trim this up now on here, on this paper cover trimmer, if it will go through. It's very temperamental, this paper trimmer is. Now if these are any good, I might keep some of these, but they're not, so we'll trash those. So I can get a few out of here, so I'll just literally cut down that seam here. Inside it's a nice creamy colour, so we'll take this edge off here. Now I probably would keep this bit, trim this down a later date, keep that. And now you've got a nice piece that is suitable for getting at least 2 cards out of. So that I won't be using today, so we'll put those pieces to one side, meaning on the floor. Which is my filing cabinet is on the floor at the moment, especially when I'm videoing. I won't keep that bit. I mean, I've got lots of bits that size actually. So I'm going to now just eyeball this, and I think, let's see, halve it. I'm eyeballing it. They're not exactly the same. They don't need to be. They do need to be a little bit shorter, I think. So I will just take my guillotine now so that I can tidy them up. So let's take a bit off the bottom and tidy that side up. Just have a look on this mat using the lines to make sure it's straight. I think that needs a little bit more straightening, so I'm just going to do that on the guillotine, get that straight, straighten that up. Unless that looks straight to me. Still doesn't look straight. Something's not right. Which side? Just check these and make sure these are straight. One side that's not straight can put the whole lot up. It's a bit of an optical illusion, as I can see that is straight. It's saying that this side isn't, so let's think it's this side here. Yeah. Okay, that's better. Right, let's just trim this one down a little bit. I don't want them too big. I don't want them too wide either, so just take it off there. Let's see if that's straight. Yes, that is. Right, okay. So out of one side of a cereal box, we've got 2 journal cards. They don't have to be exactly the same size. And these are the backs. Just going to bring my messy mat up because I want to glue the sides of those. Glue paper on the back is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I've got some of this nice straw paper which would be nice for journaling on. So I think just take a piece of that. Tear that down. And that could be stuck to this. So I'm going to use the glue sticks. This is quite a sticky one, which is why I wanted to use my messy mat really, because I can just wipe it off afterwards. And that is the back for journaling on. Simple as that. We can trim that off in a minute. That's one. Okay, for this one, what have we got? We've got scraps. Got a scrap of that. Could journal on that. It's not quite plain, but it is plain-ish. Or we can just use this other piece. I think it'd be easy just to use this. And we use it on both. Never used that on the back for journaling on before, that paper, but it's a nice change. So smooth out that crease. Right, let's get our wipe. Oh, very messy. Glue stick is very, very messy at times. Okay, right. Our pad is jumping about. If you can hear the nails on the floor, that's him clip-clopping along. Probably thinks I should be, you know, not doing this and playing with him. We've been playing with his ball today. He loves a nice ball to play with. He's got boundless energy, unlike me. Okay, right. I'm just going to turn this mat over now to the other messy side. Gosh, hope none of that comes off. Okay, right, so those are the start of our 2 journal cards. Let's put that down. Now, one of them I want to I want to do some napkin, so I'm going to use my ruler and take a square of this napkin. No, that is the wrong ruler. It has to be the heavy one, really. And I don't want to use the scissors because my cutting is not brilliant for straightness. So I'm just going to use this heavy ruler. And I'm literally cutting a quarter out of this napkin, which I love. It's very, very pretty. I love the colours and I love the background. Okay, so now we need to see how many ply it is. So we might be lucky. That's the top layer, so that's good. Put that away. And these make good dry wiping cloths. So, oh, excuse me, I just shut the door. My husband's drilling. Oh, he didn't tell me he was going to do some drilling, so I apologise about that. Okay, so let's see, which part do we want? I mean, I love that part really, with all the flowers going up. So I think what I'm going to do is get my glue book out. I'm going to cover this completely with this napkin, I think. Keep it simple today. So I don't want, on the very edge of this is the name of the artist, I think, possibly. So I don't want that if I can avoid it. So I'm just going to lay it down as flat as I can get it. So okay, let's use the dry cloth. What I'll do is, whatever I do to this one, I will use a slight one coat of Mod Podge on it to seal it. I always do that if I use a napkin, so I always think it's a bit delicate. No, you don't have to use cover the whole thing in the napkin. You could just use a portion of it. I've done that before when I've done these. You'll see on previous videos in my playlists. So I just want to neaten that. So just taking the edges off. And I absolutely love that. And it's very simple. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a phrase on. I've got these garden phrases. So I've got all sorts of things. Bloom, pocket full of posies. Bloom where you're planted. All things grow with love. Plant kindness, that's nice. Let's see, what else have we got? Well, that's a long phrase. The flower that blooms in adversity is the most rare and beautiful of all. Too long for this. May all your weeds be wildflowers. That's very nice. So I think I'm going to use all things grow with love. I think that would be nice. So I'm just going to cut that out. I find it easier not to cut them all out at once. I have got a tin with all different words in that are cut out. But it's just another thing that you have to rifle through unless you get them out in advance, which, you know, I have kind of not always know what I want to do until I've done it, if you know what I mean. So sometimes I don't want to be organised enough to have everything all out and say, well, this is the pile, I'm going to put this on this and this on this. Sometimes I just like to go ad hoc and kind of go with the flow. So just going to quickly go around that with a bit of vintage photo, of course, my ultimate go-to distress ink. And I love that. It's very simple. And I think I'll have it up here, and I won't put a tab on this simply because we don't know whether it's going to go in a side pocket, a top pocket, you know, or wherever it's going to go. We have to wait and see. So I will give it some Mod Podge because it starts to lift a little bit, but I'll just do that off camera. So all I'll do is get some Mod Podge, put a tiny bit into a pot with a brush, and I usually thin it with a bit of water, and then I'll just go over with a coat, and this then will go on there, and that could be Mod Podged over. I'm just thinking to myself, do I want to put it on a scrap of something? You could find a scrap of lace and put it on. That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? Scrap of lace. Oh, I mustn't touch the bottom. That's a little bit delicate. Okay, so could put a bit of lace along the bottom, but I will do that after I've Mod Podged it, actually, because I don't think lace would do very well Mod Podged over somehow. So I've got some of this silk I've used before. Just wondering what would that look like on here. Let's just cut a piece out. Just take that square because it's got a bit of embroidery on it. And let's see. Go for this end. And we'll fray it, you see, so that's the theory anyway. So here goes fraying. It does like to fray anyway, so don't want it to fray too much. Okay, we can trim off those. See if that's too big, too small. What does that look like? I like that actually, so I'm going to pop that down on here. Just going to trim off those before I glue. I'm not going to put the glue stick on here because it's just going to pull the whole thing up. So I just dab it with a bit of art glitter like that, and pop that down because I can Mod Podge over this. And this one I'm not going to round the corners of this one. I want to leave this one as it is for change. I don't want them to be all the same, you see. So that's one, very simple, very easy to do. Oh, very awkward. Let's get rid of those. Okay, so that's one nice journal card which will be sealed, and before we seal it we'll go around it with some vintage photo because I can see white edges. Be very careful with the bottom, keep pressing that down. That's why you need to water down Mod Podge, because it's quite thick and gloopy and it will just take the whole thing back up. But when I do my next video of the floral journal, you'll see me put this in, you'll see it finished. So I like that, just like that simplicity. So that's one. Okay, so the other one has done a walk. Where did it go? How peculiar. It's disappeared. I'll just look for it. Hold on. Found it in amongst the heap of things. Just trim that off a bit better. So that's the back for journaling on, and this is the front. So what we're going to do with this one, let's have a think. We could now, I've got some of these called decoupage papers now. I'm not really sure. I only know how to do napkins. I've never used proper paper. I do like some of these images. They're very, very, very pretty, aren't they? So let's have a look, think, what one shall we use? I'm very torn. I love pansies and violas. They look like violas, but they could be pansies. Pansies are bigger, from the same family. So all the roses are lovely. Ooh, let's go with the pansies. Let's try using this, see how we get on. So let's get the small guillotine out because it's not very big. And no idea what this is going to look like or how it's going to turn out. Just going to trim the white off. Okay. Okay, right. Now, so that can fit on there, but the background is very, very dull. So I'm going to use the green, which is called Rustic Wilderness. I'm going to put it on here, and I'm going to my brush, and we will find a stencil to go in the background. Let's see, what have we got? Got Tim Holtz Flourish. Now I always seem to go for this one. This is one of my favourites. Okay, let's use this one. Right. I know we're not going to be seeing, we'll be covering up what we've done in the middle, so I'm just going to go around the edges to see how that looks. Just working it round, and then move this out. What I don't want is a line, which you can get with these stencils because they've got a border around them. So okay, I think I like that. And I think that looks much better on there now than it did. Okay, so I'm going around the corners. I use the 10mm now. I'm going to have trouble rounding. I want to round the corners of that piece that's going on top. Going to have to use some cardboard and put it on the top and hold it like that, because this corner rounder does not like thin paper. So all I do is hold a piece of cardboard, scrap cardboard behind it, and just round every corner of it like so. And again, do that one like that. Pop those in the bin. Okay, now let's go around that with the vintage photo. And I think I'm just going to glue it on with the glue stick, and then when I Mod Podge the other one, I'll just go over this one as well, I think. Bits of that material everywhere. Okay, so there it is, like that. And we could put another label on. What have we got? Let's have a look. Definition, we could put down there, bloom. Don't like that's too big. Let's see, what have we got? Plant love is, oh, plant kindness is a nice one, isn't it? What else? We've got plant kindness. Say it with flowers. How does your garden grow? That's a nice one. So it's between plant kindness and how does your garden grow. Let's go with that one. How does your garden grow? Where did I see it? Right at the top. all gone quiet again now. So obviously stopped drilling. Whatever that was he was doing, I've no idea. Okay. Let's go around this one. I feel that it needs something behind it. Would be nice. What have we got? We've got some of this green cheesecloth. What does that look like? Might be quite nice. Oh, what about if we put it behind? Oh, I like that much better. So I'm going to pop it behind a piece of this. Or do I want it all straight edge? Or we could try and round the corners of this using the same method as before, which is a piece of card. I've got loads of rubbishy bits in my bin, so all I need to do is use the smallest one really. No, that's too small. Okay, that didn't work. Let's try it again. This may not work. May not work at all. This is very small. It certainly tells you if it thinks you haven't cut your paper straight. So let's try this side. That's okay, that worked. Now it's not going to like this one, I bet. Okay, so I could just see a lip there. So I'm just going to trim that along there, see whether it likes the other side. It didn't, so it thinks this is not straight. Just try that once more. Goodness me. Let's get a fresh bit of cardboard. This just scraps. That's better. Not keen on that end. Okay. All right. Throw that away. Okay, let's go around that with the vintage photo. Nice this paper is because it kind of bleeds into it. So I think I'm going to stick this on. Use this. I better not be lazy. I better get my glue pages out. Oops. And I won't use those, they've got all... I obviously use them for all sorts of things. And sometimes the effect of just using them as a background while you're, you know, trying to glue something, or you're using some paints or whatever, sprays, they're very kind of come out kind of a nice colours. I like them, so sometimes I keep those. Collage use. Okay, right, I want that kind of in the middle, half on, half off, like that. And then this is going to go, I think this is thin enough to be glued with the glue stick. And I'm going to pop that there. And there is our second one. Again, I don't know where the tab will go. May add some lace too to it. But that's just too simple. So that was my first one, my prototype. 2 simple cards for your journal, made out of cereal packets. I haven't rounded the corners of this one. I wanted to leave it as it is. I'm going to Mod Podge over that. I'll probably Mod Podge over this too, and then perhaps pop a bit of lace on both of them. But that's what they look like. And on the back they've got the journaling side. So hope you enjoyed that. That's now 3 to go in the journal, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care. Bye bye.